Hello, you're watching Cybernet with me, Steve Truitt. Get ready for a smashing good time. Skate with some hockey all-stars, battle a kung fu master, and meet the legends of wrestling. It's sensational. It's Cybernet. Let's kick off this week's show with the main event. With a market full of less than stellar brawlers, thank heavens for Super Smash Bros. Not only did it revolutionize the fight genre, it went on to become one of the best multiplayer experiences ever. That classic is about to get an upgrade for the GameCube. Super Smash Bros. Melee is stampeding to the ring. All your favorites are back, so let the battles commence. As with the first game, you'll slug it out in some of the most fondly remembered video game settings of yesteryear, from the planet in Meteoroid to the 8-bit levels of Super Mario. Throw in some cool moves and even cooler power-ups, like the mallets and laser guns, and you have a sequel that pulls out all the stops. Even the one-player game has been improved. Now you can embark on an adventure that's a whole game unto itself. 3D graphics? Pshaw! We'll take a good side-scroller any day. You'll get a kick out of seeing a Pokemon take on Zelda's Link. That sword is no match for mass-marketed cuteness. There's even a few bonus rounds where you can have your characters go the distance while picking up some points. He might be from a kiddie cartoon, but that Pikachu sure packs a mean punch. They've even managed to raise the stakes a bit. As you battle your way through the onslaught of challengers, you'll obtain coins that you can later use to gamble for trophies. Thankfully, no one's ever been sent to the poorhouse for losing a poly-generated coin. We shouldn't brag, but we will. Players are able to display all their trophies on a table screen that can be saved on your memory card. Yes, we do have a lot of time on our hands. And time will go by once you realize all the things that can be unlocked as you progress through the game. You'll be able to play as such classic characters as Gandalf from the Zelda series to Mr. Game Watch, a character from the nearly forgotten Nintendo Watch games of the 80s. Super Smash Bros. Melee has instantly become a multiplayer classic in the Cybernet office. With its frantic fun and vast character menu, this title will offer hours of enjoyment to even those jaded video game players who think Nintendo's just for the kiddies. Be warned, this game will turn your frown upside down with a Donkey Kong-sized punch. Next up, we reveal a throwback to the days of gaming past with Maximo Ghost to Glory on the PlayStation 2. I already know what you're thinking. How can this be a game from the past when it's on a next-generation console? More on that later. First, let's begin with the story. Maximo, a noble knight returning home after a hard-fought war, finds his kingdom in shambles. And that's not the worst of it. His 4 wise sorceresses have been kidnapped. How could it get any worse? Here's how. Maximo's princess, Sophia, was forced to marry his trusted advisor, Achille. Now that's a bad day.
What? Not afraid of death?
There are worse things than death.
All the elements for a good story are here. A kingdom in peril, a damsel in distress, even a backstabbing best friend. Everything you could want in a game. And it's up to you to make things right for dear old Maximo.
How can I trust you?
How can you not trust his fame?
To do this, gamers must take control of Maximo and guide him through over 20 levels of action. There, he'll encounter numerous enemies out to do him in, like skeletons and ravens. Even the Grim Reaper himself makes an appearance.
Maximo! Thank the goddess you're alive.
Maximo is a straightforward fetch quest, but it's very enjoyable. He has multiple attacks available, which help to keep interest high, and the controls are fluid and responsive. Also, the environments are plush and varying enough to make you want to see more. The boss levels aren't too difficult either, letting you breeze through the game without too much strain. So how is Maximo like games of the past? The answer is in its save points, or lack thereof. You see, gamers of today are used to, even spoiled with, the ability to save their game at any point in time. Not so in Maximo. You'll have to travel far and conquer many to get to a checkpoint, or else pay your hard-earned money you've collected. And with limited armor, some gamers might find this incredibly frustrating. However, we enjoyed playing Maximo. Now, what was the name of his princess again? What does it take to become Cybernet's Game of the Week? Above all else, it has to be a good game. But beyond that, achieving this prestigious status requires something more. And we found that special something in the Xbox's Dead or Alive 3. When we first reviewed Dead or Alive 3, we declared it one of the best fighting games ever. With numerous moves and various fighting styles, ranging from wrestling to drunken kung fu, each character lends his or her own unique talents to win the match. The interactive 3D environments in which to fight lend another exciting aspect to this title. For example, electrocuting your opponent will cause some heavy damage. So will knocking him out a window and letting him fall several stories, only to bounce off a neon sign before hitting the ground with a thud. But that special quality making Dead or Alive 3 a title worthy of the Best Fighter Ever trophy is something that really doesn't have anything to do with the playability of the game. That's right, it's the characters' costume choices. There's just something to be said for the little things, like grappling an opponent wearing a cowboy or cowgirl outfit. When first released in the US many months ago, these costume choices were not yet available as they were in the European and Japanese markets. But utilizing the Xbox's hard drive capabilities, developers were able to release an additional expansion disc or booster pack, allowing for upgrades for the first time ever for console games. What's special about this is the melding of computer and console, allowing for the best possible gaming experience to date. While these technological advancements mark an exciting time for the gaming industry, it's only part of the reason why DOA 3 is one of our favorites. The other reason being, it's just a fun game. That's right, we haven't forgotten, no matter how much technology goes into a title, it's more important to just be enjoyable, which is why we fell in love with gaming in the first place. So we at Cybernet salute Dead or Alive 3 for being our Game of the Week.
KO.
We take our next battle to the ice. Lace up your skates and grab your sticks. It's this year's installment of the famous hockey series. But is NHL 2002 that much of an improvement over the previous games? Let's join some professionals and find out. Like football, hockey has its share of obsessive fans all around the world. And for this very reason, there has never been a shortage of titles seeking to recreate the popular game. Throughout the years, EA Sports has established a reputation for making some of the finest sporting sims around. This eventually led to the classic PS1 version of NHL. Unfortunately, the PlayStation 2 version failed to live up to expectations, leaving many gamers in the cold. Though it looks identical at first, the Xbox NHL is actually jam-packed with options. It includes a franchise mode with 10 consecutive seasons, an exhibition game for up to 4 players, and a tournament mode for up to 16 teams. There's also a shootout mode, pitting you against the goalie, one-on-one. The main game possesses sharp AI, making single player just as challenging as taking on a worthy human rival in the 2-player mode. So don't plan to master the ice too quickly. The controls are fluid, making it easy to switch from offense to defense at a moment's notice, which is quite helpful in a sport where you can hardly even see the puck at times. While the graphics seem to be ported straight from the PS2 version, there still isn't much we'd change in NHL 2002. Even those not usually accustomed to sport games will find the controls a breeze. And those obsessive hockey fans will find a reason to huddle around the television screen during the off-season. Just play nice, okay? Oh sure, this may look like a typical racing game, but Rally Sport Challenge for the Xbox is also a time machine. Grab a pen and let's go back to the past. beginning of the game, try entering the good stuff. That's capital T, H, E, capital G, O, O, D, capital S, T, U, F, and F. You're magically transported back to the 1980s, where parachute pants and big hair reign supreme. More importantly, you'll have access to the rally cars of that time, where less stringent rules made for some very fast cars. So have fun, but please don't call any of these sweet rides grease lightning. Coming up, wrestle Legends of Past, a role-playing game that's fast, and James Bond kicks major tail. Back before there was the Texas Rattlesnake, or the People's Champion, there were the Legends of Wrestling. And now Acclaim has immortalized the world's greatest grapplers on the PlayStation 2.
The man with the largest arms in the world, Hulk Hogan!
If you're like some of the staff at Cybernet, you relish the thought of seeing your favorite superstars of yesteryear battle it out one more time to become world champion. Unfortunately, most of these heroes have retired their bruised and battered bodies. But with the miracle of modern technology, they can once again suplex their way into fans' hearts and imaginations. Gamers can choose from 42 superstars like King Kong Bundy or George the Animal Steel. Even everyone's favorite Fijian, Jimmy Superfly Snuka, is on offer. And of course, there's a character customization so you can put yourself in the ring with these giants. Nice coat. Unfortunately, the nostalgic feel derived from seeing these old-timers in action only goes so far, as you'll soon tire from its less-than-stellar gameplay. The wrestlers in Legends appear bulkier and almost plastic compared to its modern-day counterpart, WWF SmackDown, which favors more realistic modeling. Also, the controls are awkward. You'll spend most of your time concentrating on the corner of the screen to know when to counter a move or perform signature finishes. This requires proper timing using a meter similar to those in golf games. Legends of Wrestling could have been a great game. What should have brought fans to their feet with pulse-pounding excitement sadly puts us in a sleeper hold. Not even the immortal Hulk Hogan can turn this one around. You say you've been playing Dave Mirra Freestyle BMX 2 on the PlayStation 2, but feel you have yet to find the perfect character to best represent your coolest tricks? Grab a pen, because this cheat should cure your less-than-exciting character blues. At the main menu screen, press up, left, down, right, right, left, left, down, up, and left. So who is this unlocked mystery man of thrills? Superman? Spider-Man? Santa Claus? Nope. You've got access to none other than an Amish man. That's right, no need for electricity or technology here. With this character, all you need is a good, honest day of hard work. Okay, let's check out Cybernet's top 10 most awesome vehicles. At 10, we would love a Porsche of our own, but I think the closest we'll get to one is this beauty from Project Gotham Racing. As the ultimate indestructible vehicle of the game, the tank from Grand Theft Auto 3 blasts into number 9. Sporting a plethora of weapons, Mr. Grimm's motorbike from Twisted Metal Black makes him the most Evel Knievel ever at 8. Crash sure looks happy driving his Jeep in Crash Bandicoot, The Wrath of Cortex at 7, but these rhinos sure don't like it. We all know super spy James Bond has the coolest cars of all time. No wonder his ride from 007 Agent Under Fire got him to 6. At 5, these awesome mini-subs from Aquanox look like they'd be amazingly fun to scour the depths of the 7 seas with. For our number 4 pick, you can't go wrong with the fast and furious action of the A-Grav Zoomer from Jak and Daxter, the precursor Legacy. Though it may look simple, the Dolphin spacecraft from Pikmin is really quite complex at 3. Just ask the Pikmin who have to build it. Number 2 is an easy hit with the Banshee from Halo. The only drawback, you can't use it in multiplayer. Help us, Microsoft! But our number 1 vehicle of choice would have to be those jet-powered hot rods of Star Wars Racer Revenge. Yeehaw! If it's got excellent games, a good system will last a lifetime. We were upset when it was announced the Dreamcast would be discontinued. Luckily, there's still one title that continues to endure, long after the very console it was released for has faded away. The game, Phantasy Star Online version 2. More update than sequel, the latest installment of this long-running series broadens the horizon of an already epic game with some cool, new characters and areas to explore. Once again, you play a member of a space-age wagon train searching for a new planet to call home. When your sister ship, Pioneer 1, disappears, it's up to you and the rest of Pioneer 2 to find out what happened to the ship's inhabitants. While impressive, most of the game is the same as its predecessor. As with version 1, you have your pick of characters and can even create your own. Furthermore, you can port over saved characters from the first game. For those who've never experienced a Phantasy Star game, you'll find a solid RPG title that doesn't forsake the action. You'll be able to purchase a wide variety of weapons and spells to help you on your quest. And when the going gets tough, go online and team up with a friend. If you're one of those who continue to hold on to your Dreamcast, you'll be pleased with the longevity of the online game. And it was just announced the Phantasy Star series will soon be making an appearance on the GameCube. If that happens, you can expect a slew of new fans will be jumping onto the net to join this out-of-this-world fantasy. Listen up. If you thought joypad waggling was exhausting enough, think again, because a different species of console game is conquering the world. Up until a couple of years ago, video games mainly consisted of traditional racing games, shoot-'em-ups, and beat-'em-ups. But in the last few years, we've seen everything from freshwater angling games to horse riding simulators in a push to find something new. And now, some even more innovative arcade games are literally dancing their way into our homes. Beatmania is the first DJ simulation that enables you to perform your moves and grooves while scratching some plastic in front of an audience. Beatmania became an instant success in Japan, and Konami has waltzed back onto the dance floor to give us Dance Dance Revolution. And after the introduction of Guitar Freaks to the series, playing arcade games has become a real participation sport. And now if you've got one of these, or one of these, stardom could be at your fingertips, because all these titles and more are out on the PlayStation. In the rhythmic game Drum Mania, players try to keep time by thumping along to the music on their own plug-in drum kit. Dance fans have their own game too, Dance Dance Revolution, and with the help of a special dance mat, can boogie till dawn whenever they like. And, not forgetting the game that started it all, here's the DJ simulator Beatmania, complete with its very own mixing desk that slots straight into the joypad port of your machine.
Bring it back, sing it back, bring it back, sing it back.
Believe us, to become a top DJ, good hand-eye coordination are a must.
Bring it back, sing it back, bring it back, sing it back, bring it back, sing it back.
And when When you've mastered your games, where better to show off your skills than back at the arcade? All these titles add an extra dimension to gaming, physical performance. Now, absolutely everyone from the musically tone-deaf to the baddest dancer can be a superstar. Go on, just try to tell this guy any different. Ready to get shaken and stirred? Everyone's favorite super spy with a license to thrill stars in yet another adventure. But this time, it's not on the big screen. 007 Agent Under Fire is blasting its way directly into the PS2. With its mix of espionage, gadgetry, and stunt-laced driving sequences, you'd think that James Bond would have no problem making the leap from film to video game superstar. Surprisingly enough, however, with the exception of the N64's groundbreaking version of GoldenEye, the transition has not been as smooth as Mr. Bond himself.
Thank you.
But just when things look hopeless for 007, he always seems to have some trick up his sleeve.
I don't know how to thank you.
I'm sure we'll think of something.
The creators of Agent Under Fire were given free rein to develop their own Bond adventure, relieving them from the restrictions of a mere movie adaptation. The result is the freshest, most engrossing Bond game to date. .007's mission is to team up with a beautiful agent. Wait, are there any other kind of agents when it comes to Bond? Anyway, he joins forces with her to stop a devilish plot to clone the world's leaders. Sounds like a blast. There have been first-person Bond games, and there have been Bond driving games, but none have blended these two elements as well as Agent Under Fire. As a matter of fact, all the ingredients of a good Bond yarn are here. Beautiful girls, deadly villains, and where would we be without everyone's favorite gadget guru?
I thought that would catch your eye, 007.
But when the mission is completed and James Bond eventually gets the girl, what are you left with? The best Bond multiplayer since GoldenEye. You and up to 3 players can dispense the shell casings in 12 different arenas. So if you're looking for action on the PS2, you already know the name and the number. We'll bring you all the classified information on Bond's next adventure, but for now, we've run out of time. Cybernet will be back soon, though, with even more fantastic games and features from around the world. Don't forget to keep in touch via email. So until we meet again, here's more ghost-busting action from Luigi's Mansion, compliments of Cybernet.